Hello, how you doing? Today, I guess today is a big day. Day I've been waiting on for a minute, maybe. My name is Frank Conaway Jr. Conaway, Conaway, and I had recorded some information uh, about a spiritual experiment and transition, and I wrote about these things. My first book is called Baptist, Gnostic, Christian, Ebonic, Kundalini, and Spiritual Keto Hermeneutic Metaphysics. That's by me. When you start reading all these books and everything, you might find yourself gaining weight and getting chubby. So you might, it's funny. So you might need to get yourself in order a little bit after it's over with. And therefore, I have the 20 pennies a day diet plan, which I give you information because if I know things, I'm supposed to have information. Then I have the Christian Kundalini and Science Proof of the Soul Cryptogram Solution of Egyptian Stellar 55001 and Opening the Hood of Ra. It's me. Next I have the Kundalini Yoga Christian Master Is. So, these are some texts that I have, things that I experienced along the transition, along the trip. And now it's time to take it to another level. Those things, I guess I was just saying. In recording, this happened, that happened, this is the way I did it, so forth and so on. At this point, which is 9/10/14, I find that it's necessary that I begin to teach. A while ago, I came across some information, another person's lecture. I was very upset. Because I didn't think that person knew what they were talking about. Then I did research and I said, maybe I'm going to say this person doesn't know what they're talking about. But I hadn't made the transition into my YouTubing. So I felt uncomfortable with them abruptly making me make a transition into YouTube. So I was holding back. Let it go. And then something came up again recently. And then there's a person that I know, we're going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. We're talking about this person, this lecturer. He's a lecturer. His name is Dr. Ray Hagins. Dr. Ray Hagins, Hagins. And he did some work, so forth. And the gentleman and myself, we're going back and forth, and he's talking about, let's start it off. Let's do what I would call a get it cracking. We're going to get this cracking. He starts off talking about Osiris. Okay? Osiris. It's Osiris book. By the way, I hope you can search for this book at my bookstore, www.spiritualshock.com. And you can find other videos that I'm doing on YouTube, I guess at 314 META, one word, but you probably know that already now. But anyway, this is by E.A. Wallace Budge, and this is from, I don't know. 1900 or something, 1911 something. So this bunch of guys trying to decipher. He says, well, we found these glyphs in Egypt, and lo and behold, Ray Hagins does a DVD. And DVD basically explains how researchers went to Egypt and they found the whole Bible in Egypt. Everything. The whole Bible in Egypt. From the Genesis to the Revelation. How about that? I'll take it that far. No, you know why I can see. Now you're gonna say, why can you take it that? Who are you to take it that far? Oh, I'm nobody. I'm nobody. How about that? Is that thick enough for you? Can you see it? Is that thick enough for you? This is called Egyptian Origin of the Book of Revelation. Is that enough to hold you? Can you read this? Can you understand what it's talking about? Well, now, this is what I want to know. See, this is what I want to know, because right here, I'm on page 40. I'm on page 40. You might as well get it amped up. I'm on page 40, and we're going to start off with, we're under Egyptian perspectives, and we're in the second paragraph. Ready? But it was the self-made scholar and mystic Gerald Massey who first seriously compared larger parts of the book of Revelation with the ancient Egyptian beliefs. Self-made. Okay. For that, this work formed the 11th division or book of a larger study entitled Ancient Egypt, the Light of the World, which was published in 1907. I don't think I was here in 1907. Anyway. He called it Egyptian Wisdom in the Revelation of John the Divine, and in it he refers to several Egyptian deities which he suggests are parallels to the well-known Christian characters referred to in Revelation, Christ/Jesus, the Lamb and the Dragon, devil, Satan, period. He also suggests Egyptian parallels to Revelation's woman in the sky, in Revelation 12, the bride of the Lamb, in Revelation 21, the four creatures before the throne, Revelation 4, Judgment Day, Revelations 20, and others. He provides us with little or no detail on his rationale for his parallels, however, so that it is impossible to critically evaluate his conclusions in the light of modern Egyptological publications, and in the light of the results of this work, period. Anyway, this is by John H.C. Pippi, right? Okay. So I take this. This is the Osiris book. I'm gonna put this next to this book, and it's two. This Osiris. This is by Budge. This is volume 1. See, this is volume 1 right there. See, volume 1 right there. I know you're not supposed to point with your finger. I know it. So really, it's 2 of these, and this, and some more. Okay. That point is going to what? That point is going to what Dr. Ray Hagins was saying. Hey man, they found all this down on the wall in Egypt. See, this was stolen by this is stolen from Egypt. You know, they had Horus and all of that. See, they had Isis and Horus. And therefore, you've been tricked. You've been bamboozled. You've been faked out. You've been thrown off. All this kind of stuff. And he say, I'm talking to you. If you believe, I mean, I don't want to get real heavy with it. But I do feel heavy with it. Because if you can point at me and say, I'm talking to you who's looking at my DVD, the fool, then I'm going to act the fool. I'm going to play the fool. So since you want to say to me that I'm the fool, because I believe in the scriptures, I read the scriptures, I tested the scriptures, I have answers for the scriptures, then I feel obligated to answer you. I feel really obligated to answer you. And then you give an invitation, say, well, you don't want to argue or bicker, but if someone has something they want to say, come on with it. Well, here it is. Here it is. But I would like to say to this, I would like to acknowledge the fact that you did excellent work. I appreciate you going down and getting that information for me. I acknowledge the fact that in your zeal, you might have been working for me. How you like that? See? Because I'm not going to Egypt. I'm not going to dig up anybody's grave. Let's get that straight. There were certain people that wanted to be buried and have their spirit remain in a place upon the earth. And that's why they put personal belongings in their tombs, to keep their spirits there until, now watch this, the prophesized coming of the Christ. Until the prophesized coming of the Christ. So 2,000, 3,000 years before Christ comes. The guy who you don't believe in, or who you say is not real, the Jesus guy. The Jesus guy. See, you're going to say, well, the J, there's no such letter as J. Well, check this out. The Old Testament is written in Hebrew. So A through Z don't exist. You have to use their language, Alph, Beth, and Gamil. The New Testament is written in the Greek. It's not written in English. So, I mean, what do you say? Well, you going to go to D.C., Washington, D.C., and find J Street? Where's that? Where's J Street? Or you going to talk about in Raiders of the Lost Ark, I think it was Raiders of, no, maybe the second one, the Lost Crusade, when Indiana Jones is in the temple and he steps on the, they say, oh, spell the name Jehovah. Okay, J, and the floor falls through. Oh, that's right, it's not spelled for J. See, well, we know that when you translate things into other languages, there are other things that have to be done. See, but this is what you don't know. This is what you don't know. I was doing research into what I do. I was in the search for wisdom. True wisdom. I read the Bible, and the Bible said in Revelation 13:18, here is wisdom. Well, that's a stop sign for me, because it says here. Right here. Stop. Here. Here is wisdom. Let he with the knowledge calculate. Now, there's two things. Now you're talking about knowledge and wisdom and a calculation. How do you figure this out? If you're smart enough to figure this out, or if you can figure this out and see how this relates to the text, then you can understand this, because here is wisdom and here is knowledge. Right here. Why don't you talk about that? So it doesn't give it to you. It doesn't say, well, here's the answer. No, it says calculate it. Figure it out. Search the earth. Go look for it. See if you can find the door. The door. Okay, we'll get to the door. Now, let me write that down. Go wise. Anyway. Where was I? You're on the J. Okay. So you've been bamboozled, or you think that I've been bamboozled and tricked and all that. And brother, I need to wake up, brother. Well, brother, let me stay asleep where I'm asleep. I'm satisfied with what I'm satisfied with. Okay? But I wanted to acknowledge you and say that you did wonderful work. And I had a problem. I had a little problem. I was going to talk to you about your theory about the ISIS and all this, and the whole Bible was already written on the wall. Well, that's called prophecy. That happens all the time. With Moses, it was prophesied that what was, I forget what Moses was called. He's called something. They said he's coming. Then finally the star comes. They said, did you know anything about him coming? Oh yeah, we saw his star 2 years. Yeah, his star was up there 2 years ago. So then they want to kill all of the Hebrew children, 2 years and younger. But he gets away. Jesus come. He said, oh yeah, the star. Here we go with this star again. The star. So now this time, they become really intelligent and say, last time with Moses, it was 2 years. So this time, we're going to go 4 years back. So I wasn't planning on this being a long. I just wanted to be short. But it doesn't seem it's going to be that way. Because we're just hitting on all cylinders right now. So these people tell you that they were prophesizing something. Okay. Well, let's say that you run a computer program. And the computer tells you basically if this and this and this and this and this stays constant, in 15 or 20 years, this is going to happen. And you ask the people, well, basically, if all of this stays constant and you feed it enough information, how is this going to stay constant? I mean, how is this going to happen? And it starts making these predictions. Well, the computer doesn't know everything at that moment because there are things that are happening in the matrix. The word matrix means womb. In this womb, the earth womb, or this dimensional womb. And as you approach the f of x, or say the function of x as the line just ready to touch the curve, and you start feeding in more accurate data as to what is happening, and you start switching from 50, you go over 51% of theory, and you start getting into 52 and 53 and 54% of accuracy and what has happened. Now you can refine, you keep refining your formula. It's like when you're dealing with dark matter. But the scientists that dealt with dark matter had to use the inverse. They couldn't use the direct. They said, you know what? We can't figure out what this dark matter is. But what we do know by our observation is every time we look at it or cut the light on it like a cockroach, it changes. So based on the fact that it does not stay consistent, that means that it is doing something, and we have found something called dark matter that we don't know what it is. It shifts when you observe it. Why don't you explain that? Anyway, I'm going to get into this in a minute. But I wanted to say that I think Dr. Hagins has done a wonderful job. I think at the end of my journey, some of the things and some of what he says will probably bring me great pleasure and chuckles. And chuckles. And chuckles. There's some things, it seems like, that are being put out to stimulate and test the Christian's knowledge. Some of the movies, for example, Raiders of the Lost Ark. So they show the Ark of the Covenant. But then cherubim or cherub only have one face. Wait a minute. That's not the description that I read in the book. Something's not right here. Then you have to think about it. Wait a minute. If they make it exactly as it says in the book, then it becomes a graven image. Wait a minute. So they use a representation as symbolic. They're doing these things to help you out. When you, like I said, Matrix's womb. You're supposed to be sitting in there and you have your popcorn and this is the Matrix. You don't know any Matrix. The modern day New Age. You pull out your New Age telephone in the movies and cover it up. Google Matrix. Matrix means womb. Wait a minute. And then Neo, the one, backwards, whatever. He's in the club, says Jesus. She says what? Her name is Trinity. They on a Nebuchadnezzar. His name is Morpheus, which means to change or metamorpho. Wait, what are they talking about? What is going on? Now you in the middle of a spiritual type of hocus pocus movie. Or if you want to talk about the mind, let's talk about the mind. Let's not talk about time. In 1492, when Columbus sailed the ocean blue, people were talking about the world was flat and you could sail off the end into space. On the other hand, in 1492, when Columbus sailed the ocean blue, as I understand it, some people were being expelled from Spain. Huh? Oh, okay. See, now that's coming over into the hidden colors. See, the hidden colors and the terrible atrocity that happened with slavery. I'm not saying it wasn't terrible. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that the other atrocities weren't terrible. But when you compare them to what happened with Noah and the ark, you see, that's telling you the mentality, I guess you would say, the personality, I guess you say, of the being that you were playing with, that you were talking about. And then you say, Dr. Ray Hagins, you said you don't want a God like that. That's what you said. You said it on your DVD, A Con Man Called Abraham. Idiotic Concepts in Religion, Part 4. That's what you said. God said that that's the way he was. He didn't like, though he doesn't like how we are. You see, this is what happened. This is what happened. You sitting there talking about you don't want a God like that. Not acknowledging the fact that what the Bible says is that we have all caught a virus called evil. When Adam ate off of that tree, or whatever it is, it's really not a tree. But anyway, it's something you would have to go back to the Jewish Kabbalic knowledge of the tree of life. He ate something that disrupted his power circuits, his sulfuric superstructure, okay, which knocked his thinking out of line. If I would say this to you 20 years ago, you would say, huh, and I would say, huh, and we would have no answer. Let me put it to you another way, since that's not the kind of God you want. This God said, you are a computer made in my image. Don't plug up into those plugs over there. Well, somebody came along and said, hey man, you can get on the www, the World Wide Web. All you have to do is plug in, brother. Here's a plug. Wow, and here's the cord. Hey, plug in. You plug in to the www, World Wide Web. Oh, you just surfing and cruising, tweeting, YouTubing. Next thing you know, your screen start going sideways, volume going up and down. You cut the computer off, it won't cut on. What's going on here? You call the man you got the computer from, who gave you the computer, say you need to do your homework, you do calculus, use it as a computer. Use it as a computer. Don't use it as an information translator and transfer. Use it as a computer. 1 + 1 is 2. Remember you used to get the computer, the Tandy computer? You could sine, cosine, functions, differential equations. Come on now. Going to superstring structures, quantum physics. Maybe you're going to be a physicist. You told a man you want to be a physicist and you need a computer so you can do your calculations to come down to purify your whole calculation to E = mc². And then next thing you know, you plugging in onto the www. See, that's how you do. You get hype. You get hype because somebody, they trick somebody and you waking somebody. You're not waking nobody up. You're putting people to sleep. In my opinion. In my opinion. See, because if I had a doctrine, my doctrine would be, first of all, do like they did in the school of Pythagoras. Shut up. You don't know anything. Shut up. You mean to tell me, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. You pay your good money. Your good money. Why do I call your money good? But anyway. Render unto Caesar. That's why. You pay your money and go to Harvard. You know what? You have the right to ask them anything you want to because you paid. That's what you think. And they have the right to expel you for talking. Shut up. Why do you think the librarian in the library shushes you? Shush. You know what? You can't come in here. I pay my money. So, security. The first rule of thumb, no asking questions. Why? Now here you go. Let's see. I have to play this game with you because you might hear this. Say, whoa, okay, here come the brother gonna snap off on me. Okay, I'm straightening him out. Now see, I know you're very educated. Big words. Big words. I don't need the big words because I know somebody who knows the big words. I know the big word. God is. The rest of it ain't. So you can't figure out why this stuff going back to Genesis. Everybody has a virus. Let's pick it back up with the computer. You were supposed to do calculations on your computer, which is you. You're an electromagnetic chemical creature. Okay? You took in something that gave you a cold. Do you agree that there's something that gave you a cold? Do you agree that you could be around somebody with Ebola and catch it? Do you agree that there are viruses that you can catch? Do you agree that you went over there and got into the poison ivy, poison oak, poison sycamore, didn't know what you were doing, your skin broke out? Can you agree to that? Can you agree if I tell you see something doing like this, get away from it because it's a snake or a serpent, it's dangerous? Even though the crocodile looks pretty, he will eat you. The lion, when he's sitting there playing, especially the male lion, looking stupid and foolish. You ever see a stupid? Watch some of Discovery Channel. The male lion is so silly. The male lion is silly. Rolls around in the dust. Will run and just slide on the dust and dirt and make dust clouds and chase his tail. And he's such a silly. He just look, and then a hunger pain kicks in. His whole mindset changed. It's a whole nother mindset. Okay, that was fun. Time to eat. Lunchtime. Right. Sometimes you just chase animals just to chase. So you chase and play. Look, Jim. He's chasing down the gazelle. He's got the gazelle. He's jumped on the gazelle. He let the gazelle go after biting him on the buttocks. That's what the lion does. He wants you to know, I can catch you. That was just prank. Okay. Let's get back to our computer. So you're supposed to be doing computations. You remember when you used to have the handheld computer? The calculator. Now it's gotten all advanced. There's that enough phone. Like somebody might come to you, you sitting there with your laptop, and they say, "Oh man, let me. I need to plug my phone up into your computer so I can get a charge." No, you don't, because suppose if my computer downloads all my information into your phone. Oh no, you not. Do you have something to hide? No, I just don't have anything to show you. How about that? Do you have something to hide? No, I just don't want you draining my battery. How about that? Do you have something to hide? Look, beat it. Remember the Terminator? In the Terminator had the multiple answers. That's called the multiple answers came up, Well, the answer X could be X plus 2 or X minus 2. Well, how can it be X plus 2? Because 2 times 2 is 4. Well, then how could it be negative 2? Because negative times 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. That's how it could be those two answers. And when you go deeper into formulas, it can be 5 answers. It could be 10 answers. It could be 20 answers. Let me get back to it. So you don't say, well, this, that, other thing. You have the calculator. You were told not to plug it into the www. Adam plugged into www. It messed up his Safari superstructure on the tree of life inside of himself. Therefore, he had to get cut off from the tree of everlasting life. It messed him up. He caught a virus. Let's change it around. The day that you eat, oh man, you won't surely die. The day you eat off the tree, you will be as gods. Oh man, you will be as gods. Now, first of all, who is he talking to? Who is this serpent talking to? Is he talking to Adam and Eve? Or is he talking to Eve? Because Adam was created in the image of the Lord God when he was created him, her, them. In the Jewish law, it's called Adam Kadmon. And see, I'm saying all these terms and everything. And I have the stuff in my book. See, then when I unleash the knowledge on you and you see the knowledge that's behind me, I don't want you to feel funny. I don't want you to think that I'm laughing inside myself. I don't want you to think that. I don't want you to say, he who laughed last be laughing inside himself. Why do I don't have to justify my knowledge about what you don't know. You probably don't know what I'm talking about. What? When I say that, let me explain to you this. See this book here? Christian Conaway and Science. Proof of the Soul. Cryptogram Solution of Stellar 55001. And opening the hood of Ra. This Egyptian stellar 55001. Guess what? Guess what? I should show it to you, but I'm not. Guess what? The reason I found out about it is because the Egyptologists have had that piece for 30 years hidden. And I guess some of them about to die or have died. And they said, we have to put it out there. We can't figure out what it means. We don't know what this is. As soon as I saw it, I knew what it was. Why? Because I can read the priest text off the wall. In other words, you see the Egyptian writing and you can read it one way. Because of the training that I've had, when it kicked in, I started deciphering it and seeing it another way. I know what it is. It's the missing link. I kept saying, I can't believe. See, they got the Ankh sign. They got this. And that Ankh sign with nothing in the middle, that's the empty Ankh. It's been used. The staff, and the rod and the staff should be in it too. Anyway. I kept saying, wait, I don't understand that. The next thing you know, here it is. Where did they get that from? They got it from the science. They got it from the science, from the statue that Moses told them about. which is in reference to the brazen serpent. See, which is dealing with your inner mysteries and the Kabbalah and so forth and so on in the tree of life. You see? But then they turned around and started worshiping this thing. Like, oh yeah, the inner works. See, and then they're gonna say, well, they had uncovered their father, and this one had gotten cursed. See, the Lord allowed Moses to see him from the back, so he saw some workings of the energy structure. Because you're not on the inner teachings. No, if you, let me ask you something. What do you have to, what could you talk to a nuclear physicist about? Someone who's doing colliding protons, what are you going to talk to them about? What do you think that you have to say is relevant enough for them to stop doing what they're doing, working with their proton collider that's 80 football fields long? What? Somebody working on the Hubble Space Telescope, what are you talking to them about? What do they want to hear? Here you go. Which one came first? The chicken or the egg? See, the wise men, that's why Guru, I think that's what they used to call Africa. They wouldn't even let you talk to them. Because you could ask the man a question. Okay, well, since you're so smart, which one came first? The chicken or the egg? That's a two-part. That's a two-part right there. The chicken came first. Yeah. The chicken had to come first. Because the chicken has to lay the egg. Well, doesn't the chicken have to get incubated in the egg? True. The egg had to come first. Okay. Those are two different answers. Let's go to the fourth answer, the third answer, spiritual answer. When creation came and everything poof, and then there were trees, and then poof, there were cats and dogs and animals. The animals came into being. They became animated, and that's where the chickens came from. Oh, really? Okay. So where the eggs come from? Huh? And then there's answer number 4. When the creation came, the chickens and the eggs came together like women have ovaries and ovaries are in them. The chicken came with creation and the egg came with creation. And they started getting it on after that, like Adam and Eve. Well, where did Adam come from? He was created by the Lord. Where did Eve come from? She came from Adam. Where did Abel come from? They came from the union of Adam and Eve. The negative and positive pole coming together. Spinning. Going into tetrahedral physics. We're not even going to tetrahedral physics. See, we're not even going to go into hyperdimensional physics. But I wanted to thank Dr. Ray Hagins. And I guess we got a few more minutes. But let's do something. Let's do a little something here. We're gonna do a little something. Okay. So these are idiotic concepts in religion. One of the points that he pointed out is so idiotic. I mean, this is ridiculous. Watch this. You never heard it. We're talking about Abraham. Abel. Now, first of all, when you go to Wikipedia, you find out that Sarah is his... I'm sorry. You go to Wikipedia. First of all, what is the Bible? Start off slow. Remember in Genesis, Adam and Eve got into some poison ivy. Adam and Eve got into a virus. Adam and Eve, computer named Adam and computer named Eve, plugged into the World Wide Web. They got a virus in their computer. When they called the computer technician who had given them the computers, he said, "Didn't I tell you don't plug into the World Wide Web?" They said, "Yeah, but," this one said, "Yeah," the other one said, "Yeah, but." The technician said, "Guess what? You don't have any antivirus protection. You have to pay for that program. That's why I told you don't go on the net." They have huge companies that get hacked all the time. That's why you saw in the movie The Matrix, the things are swimming around, all looking for something that's not part of the Matrix so they can attack it. So now you have a computer. Why don't you do this? Get a computer. Say, "I'm gonna go spend my good money." Why do you call me good? And buy a $1,000 computer. Right. Make sure you can get on the internet. Right. Then say, "Listen, I don't want any virus protection. Go on the net. Go on the YouTube. Go on one of the search engines. See how long it is before your computer catches a virus." But see, the virus they have now, your computer might act just fine. But it start transmitting data. The computer doesn't glitch. See, first the computer would glitch. Wait a minute, somebody trying to tap in. Oh wait. Now it's like, oh okay, that's right. Oh okay. Well, tell you too. You part of the program. Oh okay. You're my cousin program that just says tell your cousin what you know, and your cousin gonna tell the other cousin, and we all cousins. We all family. It's just my family and me. Sister Sledge. It's a song. Now the computer virus is so advanced that companies' computers are infected. It's just broadcasting information, broadcasting your PIN numbers and account numbers, and the computers are running just like nothing is wrong. Like nothing is going on. That's how advanced it is. Biblically speaking, what Adam and Eve ate, doesn't it tell you? It says they ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Let's turn that around. Could we say that it's also the tree of evil and good? Okay, let's not turn it around. That's stimulates the thought. But they ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Well, what difference does it make? If Adam was good and evil, then it wouldn't make a difference because he's still good and evil. Good and evil equals good and evil, right? 1 plus 2 equals 3. 2 plus 1 equals 3. 3 equals 3. That's how you do a mathematical formula in the chat. But if something happened, which is called a fall, then meant Adam is created image of God. He was created good. He only knew God. He was good. I'm all good. He was created in a virgin state. A virgin, not worldly, a virgin. That's why that virgin term is so important. Dr. Hagins, I'm coming. So he's creating this virgin state, and next thing you know, he goes down to the house of ill repute, and he's not the same. He comes home, he's worldly. He sees things different. So, oh yeah, it's different. He's in a worldly state of mind. Something happened to his mind. Now, let's go abstract with this. Abstract. They come and give you a concoction for your virus. What? Calamine lotion? What is that? Rubbing? What's I don't know. Bubble gum? What? How's that going to work? Because you have this virus in your computer, why don't you do this? Why don't you go on the internet and see if one of the antivirus companies will give you one of their old computer programs and print it out for you what the program looks like. And the program will probably go back, it's going to go back to basic some kind of way, but it's going to be saying things. If 1 plus 1 is not equal to 2, when 8 plus 8 is not equal to 16, when 6 and 1 is not equal to 1 plus 6, and you, huh? Well, this doesn't even make sense. Well, we talking about a computer program. See, that's why, in my opinion, that's why the people that have the Old Testament books don't want to talk to you, because you silly. You don't want to admit, and then you won't sit on there. This man will sit on there. Well, you on the other side, and I'm talking to the fool. That book says that everybody has this virus called evil. Well, no, that's the Adamic line. See, what you think is only people here 5,000 years ago, 7,000 years ago at the most. That's what you think. Nobody said I thought that. I can read. I try to deal with reading comprehension. I know reading and reading comprehension are two different things. A person can tell you, stop. That sign means stop. And they step on the gas. And for people who don't understand that, they make geometrical forms. When you see this form, press that pedal. Anyway, Cain got kicked out from getting kicked out. First he get kicked out of the Garden of Eden, his mother and father. Then he get kicked out. So he got to go to the land of Nod. N-O-D. Done. He's done. He's got to go to the land of Nod and take a nap. The land of the sleep people. And then he gets his wife. Now, here goes some of the... Yeah, his wife must have been his half-sister. You know, Adam, and then you've had 2 more children. Now, why somebody else getting kicked out fooling around with him? Not land polluted because of him. Not because of the other sister and all that. Oh, man. Because of him. The blood is crying out because of him. He gets kicked out. Who does he go get? He gets a wife from... I told somebody this day, like, huh? I said, yeah, he get a wife from Peking Man, Cro-Magnon Man, Neathon Man, Sasquatch Man, Bigfoot Man, Yeti Man. Oh, I said Bigfoot. Oh, okay. So he said Bigfoot. But would agree that scientists say it's Cro-Magnon? So you might see it and say, hey man, that's a Cro-Magnon. This is a Bigfoot to me. This is a Cro-Magnon. It's got a size. That's Bigfoot. Strange too. He came with creation. He Homo erectus. He came with creation. He didn't come with the created. He didn't come from the Adamic line. So by Cain going over there, then the whole world gets polluted. The whole world gets polluted. Well, they purged the pollution with Noah and the ark. No, they didn't. Because one of the Nephilim, according to the book, see, I'm reading the book. I'm just going by what the book says. Let's talk about the book. First of all, you can't talk about the book literally. You can't talk about the book intellectually if you haven't read it. That's called don't fake me out. Bootsy Collins said that don't fake me out, baby. You don't try to fake me out. Second of all, you shouldn't be talking about it if you haven't got the answers for Revelation 13:18. The reason why the Reverend I got to speak in the Reverend defense now. The reason why the Reverend starting you off with Psalms because you need comforting. Because you took a beat down. He figured he give you the book, you're going to have sense enough not to open in the middle. You're going to open in the middle. You're going to bypass all the Genesis, Deuteronomy, Numbers, all that. Go right, Psalms. Matthew, Mark, a little bit of Luke. Let's go back to Psalms. When you go to the hospital, they bandage you up. They say, man, don't go wrestling with no more alligators. You can't win. Catch you in a minute.